This is your friendly spoiler alert from Marvel and Makeup. MCU spoilers ahead.
Welcome to Marvel and Makeup. I'm Quincy.
And I'm Kay. And this is a podcast where I teach Quincy a little bit about Marvel.
And I teach Kay a little bit about makeup.
Watch out. There are MCU spoilers ahead.
Spoilers, spoilers, spoilers.
And our guest today is a writer and producer who was a 2017 finalist for TV One screenwriting competition, which led to her writing on their 2019 Movie of the Week event, Deadly Dispatch.
She also rose to the role of Vice President of Content Acquisitions and Development at 195, but now spends time on her first love, screenwriting. Please welcome Sadé Sellers.
Yay!
Yay! Woo, woo, woo! Sade.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here for Marvel and Makeup.
And we're happy to have you. We're talking about the Avengers Age of Ultron. Just to start off, what's your relationship with Marvel or just comic books in general?
I have zero relationship with comic books.
Okay.
My introduction to Marvel was through the movies, which I really appreciate that they did invite new fans like me to enjoy the tales and all of the characters while not knowing a lot about the comic books.
Same.
So I actually was really late to the Marvel game. It's funny enough, I was a background actor when I first moved here to LA, and one of the first jobs I got was on Iron Man 2.
Wow.
Yep, so I'm kind of connected to Marvel.
That's really cool, Sadé.
Do you remember what scene it was or what the setting was?
I remember everything. I remember I was one of the military execs that they were presenting these new line of robots or body suits for, and then one of the suits turned on Sam Rockwell. And everyone had to run and scream. So I'm in that mix of people running and screaming.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to have to watch it for you when we rewatch it.
Yes, you'll never find me. But I mean, it was really hard because all the women extras, we had to wear pumps, right? Like,
no.
We're execs and we're women. So God forbid we wear, loafers. We had to wear pumps. Then we had to run in pumps. And I really think, John Favreau, I didn't get to meet him or anything, but I saw him. I think he's really cool. I think he was fine. But I really think the coordinators didn't understand how dangerous that was to have people running everywhere because they don't give you really directions. They're like, just run. And we're running into people and we're doing it in heels. So,
oh my,
wow.
That kind of chaos, you kind of have to orchestrate because that's a lot of moving bodies. And I've taken dance classes and one of the teachers is a really established choreographer. And she talks about the crazy things people will ask her to do in heels, dancing full out. And sometimes it's like on a stage with water. And, and there's coupling where you have to like partner stuff. People don't get it.
Yeah, that's stunt era. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We didn't even know we had an MCU character.
I'm on in the MCU. I guess.
Woo!
Technically.
Yeah.
Yes. Score. Yes. So exciting. Cool. Today we are talking about the Avengers Age of Ultron. Written, directed by Joss Whedon. Disclaimer, as we previously said, it has been reported that he has had inappropriate behavior on his sets. We are going to, however, look at the film as a collaborative effort and focus mainly on the film as a whole. So as we dive in, though, just to take you back to the day it came out, it was May 1st, 2015. Couple things that were happening that year was a premiere of various other shows that had comic book type premises, including Jessica Jones and Supergirl, and Luke Cage came out that year. That was also the year that Hamilton came to Broadway. Talk about a moment, right?
That feels like 10 years ago. That feels like a lifetime ago, Kay. Oh my God.
I mean, I remember when Hamilton did come out and it was on Broadway, but then when the soundtrack came out, like I listened to that so much. Like
I think our entire improv team minus me has memorized the entire soundtrack of Hamilton.
Yeah.
You know, Hamilton's on Disney Plus now, so I guess it's a part of the Disney family, but I've never seen Hamilton.
Oh,
I
you
haven't seen it either. I kind of want to save it to like save my cherry for the actual Broadway production.
Okay. Cool.
Me too. Wait, so I can go see it.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I highly recommend it. Any way that you see it, it is, as they say, transformative is one of the main words they use to describe it. And that same year is also the year that Misty Copeland was the first African-American women principal dancer at the American Ballet Theater and first African-American woman to dance Swan Lake at the Metropolitan Opera. So I thought that was a really interesting highlight. You know, Misty Copeland, definitely an icon, especially in this modern era. And then a few more other things that were kind of in the ether. The phrase Netflix and chill had kind of came out. As well as the viral pizza rat and white gold versus blue black dress happened that year.
Remember it well. Yes.
Did any of the, I remember not being able to see the blue black. I saw the white gold.
I think I was blue black. I was team blue black.
Oh, wow.
Dang.
And then pizza rat. I was just like,
I don't remember pizza rat. Oh, is that the rat that stole a whole pizza in New York?
Carrying the pizza slice around here. Yeah.
I remember that.
It was that viral video. It was just a little rat running around with a pizza on its back.
You gotta eat.
Yeah. So that's a few things that were happening in 2015. But let's go ahead and just dive into Age of Ultron.
Sade, I know you have some your own like hot take. We call them citizen takes here on this particular movie. Please share.
I've said this since I saw this movie in theaters, that it is the most important film in the MCU. Mm-hmm. And when people hear that, especially the idiot fanboys who are so, vitriol about this universe, they go, why would you say that? And I say, I never said it was the best film. I think there's a big difference between the best film and the most important. This film sets up so many branches. And if you want to use references to Endgame, where you have timelines and different branches.
Right. Well, here's the thing. We're trying, since we're watching this in order and Quincy hasn't seen all of them.
I'm so sorry.
We're trying not to reference too much for what happened.
No, it's fine. I took my headphones off. I do know Endgame is a thing because they referenced Endgame like 7 times in this movie. And I was like, I get it. But anyways, Sade, finish your thought.
More just so like the idea. So everyone knows the idea of that we may not be the only multiverse or
right.
So I like to use that kind of connection to Age of Ultron because it did set so many seeds. If you want to use like a gardening trope, it planted so many beautiful seeds that connects so great in the end. And this movie gets a lot of crap, and I never understood why, because it's a planter. It's meant to seed to something else.
Same. We have talked very much about seeds and how many things get called back later down the line, and I agree. I agree that there's so much setup in this movie. I would guess that people always like aren't as are kind of against sequels in terms of
question. What is what is the popular opinion about this movie? Because I don't know.
This movie.
Everyone hates it.
Thinks it's one of the worst in the MCU. That's the popular opinion online.
Yeah. And I would disagree. It is one of my favorites.
Yes. It's definitely one I can rewatch over and over again, especially once you do watch the whole the phase 3, Quincy, you go back to this film in particular, find those seeds, and it pays off so beautifully. So
it's kind of like an anchor-ish. Yeah.
Definitely.
Interesting.
Even as a standalone film, it completes a beautiful arc. I mean, James Spader plays Ultron, and it is one of the best villains outside of Zemo to me, just because of this madman. He is Tony Stark, but the opposite of Tony Stark. But he is what Tony Stark could become if he wasn't like good of heart. He was definitely a glimpse. That's why Tony reacts so vitriol in this film to Ultron, because that it is him. So I think as a standalone film as well, it's a great villain, and I really don't understand the hate for this film.
I totally agree. James Spader is so great in this, and I agree. Like, you know, if Tony hadn't gotten blown up in Iron Man 1, like, he could become Ultron. Like, that could have been his inevitable path. But and also just the amount of epic action that's in this movie, like, is so great.
The sequences are very, very good. Some of the best climactic fight scenes I've ever seen. I mean, if you watch this movie, everyone will tell you it's that end where they do the 360 pan around the Avengers protecting the core, and it's like, it's perfect. It's literally perfect.
Yep. Great scene.
I also liked too, I thought they had very good pep talks in this, and very good like asides with one of each other. That was very emotional, very beautiful. I think we also got a lot of great backstory on individual characters that were great. I really enjoyed that one scene up top where everyone tries to pick up the Thor hammer. And I remember being like, why are they like making such a mountain out of this moment? I loved it. Just because you got to see them be them, and it was a little bit, I feel like, fan
they were
service.
friends hanging out.
Yes. And I was like, why are they
heroes do on their off day? Like,
exactly,
these superheroes just at the bar.
Yeah. But I remember being like, why are they making this such a mountain? And then when we get the callback of Vision, just boop, like, I was like, yes, this is such a sweet payoff.
Yes.
It's a brilliant comedic timing, because he like hands it to Thor, like, we gotta go, and everyone's just like, all right, well, there's no questioning anymore. He's on our side. And I love the politics of this film. And I hate when people say there's no politics. There's politics all over the MCU. You just aren't seeing them. But the politics of this film was just about mankind and how much power is enough. And then there's a clear like side. And if I get to come back, I would love to do Civil War, because the Accords is also a huge political like storyline. But in Age of Ultron, it's really Bruce and Tony, or Banner and Tony, kind of coming up with this idea like, oh, this could work. And then it goes haywire. And then the fact that they try to do it again is like, wait a second, like, so I love that we kind of think history is going to repeat itself, but they are so sure this time that it's going to work.
And there's the morality question too, which I love, which is like, do you try to save everyone and risk losing everyone, or do you sacrifice the few? And then who gets to make that decision, right? Like, who gets...
Yeah, I mean, Tony has a God complex. And that's what Wanda was really trying. That's really what she was seeing. And when she, had her visions, and was really trying to warn them about Tony, because that opening sequence where Tony does see the Avengers all dead, he really gets motivated to save them. And he's thinking of everyone else as an afterthought, but it is really kind of selfish motivations. And like you said, and the morality clause, who gets to play God like that? And AI, artificial intelligence, is something as humans we've always talked about and wanted to dabble in. And if you've watched any horror sci-fi movie, it never goes right.
Never goes right.
Especially when you're like, let's not tell our best friends. Like,
don't tell us the team.
Yeah, let's just us two decide to do this thing. Like,
not team-like, right? And later on in the MCU, or not even later on, because it's not a spoiler, but Tony is kind of the thing that holds this team together, and he's always encouraging everyone to be as a team and not divide. And that moment with Ultron was kind of like, yeah, you included Banner, but you didn't include the others because you knew they would say no and you get out. Like, you did it on purpose.
Yeah. And what's interesting is, like, I remember when we saw Iron Man 3, Sade, you've seen our Iron Man 3, yeah. I'm assuming, yes. That movie delved so much into, like, the trauma that Tony experienced going through the wormhole and him dealing with that. I feel like we pick up on that exactly right at the beginning, with the fact that, like, he's, this is coming to an end of them finally get the scepter. And then when he has that vision, it's that trauma that kind of, kind of focuses him to be like, this is what I gotta do. Like he says, put iron around the world.
He says we got to put a casting net or a gate around the world, because he in the first Avengers, you know, he goes up there. That's the howdy doody. That's what I don't really understand. Like, how do I protect from up there? I can do terrorists and stuff all day long, but that's really the last, you know. So he's had this plan in his head for years at this point. And when he actually finds a way to do it, thanks to the technology and the scepter, and you know,
the Mind Stone,
Mind Stone, he takes a swing at it, but he probably rushed it. And I know, we know he rushes it because Thor says, I'm going to take it like in a week. And he says, can we hold on to it for a week? So he was under a time crunch, but it was very rushed and it was very messy. And it just goes to show you, when it comes to things like that, you have to have patience and you have to have time. And you should probably take a couple more opinions on it, because yes, in the end, it turned out good, but it almost ended the world.
Yeah. They got pretty lucky. They're just like,
also, anytime there's like a wall situation, it just doesn't work. Like, I feel like anytime we're like, we need to build a thing around us to like a bubble wrap, you know, it just doesn't work. I'm like, when does it work? It always falls.
Well, yeah.
Die, but it's another interesting conversation, because it's a fate that we all have. So Tony is trying to escape it one way or another, and the more you try to run from it, the worse you make things from it. And not saying that I want to see all the Avengers go. And his premonitions, we've learned over the last few movies, Tony has premonitions of himself. Like he has visions and he sees things, whether in his dreams or with Wanda's visions, he sees things differently than other people. But at what cost are you willing to like achieve those goals?
Right. It's like Cap said, you know, setting up that kind of like, you know, clash between them. And whenever someone tries to anticipate a war, it ends badly, and you just bring it on yourself.
But on that note,
paid in good intentions, right? Like that's what you say. So
yeah.
On the flip side, just him getting called out though, of like he wouldn't have a purpose without war. Right. Was just so fascinating too. And I think this is the first time, as far as Kay, correct me if I'm wrong, where Cap is the captain and it's not like such a battle between him and Tony to be leaders. So that was very interesting to see him get the sort of deference from Tony, and then him being like, oh, do I really need war?
Well, I mean, if we think about it surfacely, Captain America, yes, he was born in a lab, but he technically is like a superhero with powers, and Tony is just a dude in a suit. So when it comes to them arguing, I really love that, because Captain, who also is wearing like the American, you know, garb, and he's supposed to be the leader of the, you know, of the protector,
a symbol.
He comes from, you know, some sort of superiority of Tony, in the sense of like, I actually am a superhero, and me dying is not going to be that easy to do, but you are a human playing a superhero in a suit, even though you have all this money. So I kind of love they're always trying to one-step each other when it comes to power. And honestly, Cap kind of has the edge on Tony in that sense.
Yeah. Well, and you know, what was that?
I'm a huge Tony fan, and it hurts me to say that, but it's true.
And that's the thing, you know, Tony has all of those like issues, like with the fact that kind of like he kind of is jealous of Cap because he got to spend time with his father, and his father, you know, he is kind of another son. So there's almost like that sibling rivalry, you know?
And you know, as you go on, Quincy, will see it gets so much worse. Again, I'd love to come back for Civil War, because this is why this movie is so important. It is planting those relationship seeds right now between Cap and Tony, and it really gets really bad.
Yeah. I mean, so many reasons why this movie is important and sets up so much. I mean, just to go from the very beginning, you have the introduction of the twins, of Wanda in Sokovia. I mean, so we're still working on getting Quincy to watch things through the credits. So when she watched The Winter Soldier, she missed the setup of Wanda.
Oh.
And then I went back. I was like, no, because I'd been looking forward to the setup for Wanda. She's badass. Talk about a bad day if you cross paths with her and she decides to mess with you. Well,
in this movie, not so much, because she's very new to her power. She hasn't learned. She's still very well, she almost wipes out the whole team. I will not say not so much. I will say she's very, very powerful and really scary, but her powers are so all over the place because she hasn't honed them yet, that I love this movie. Again, sets up that we get to see her grow. She is really messy in this film.
Yeah. Definitely new at using her powers and doesn't really even know like how powerful she is, considering she is the one that after giving Tony his vision, like lets him take the scepter. So she actually allows, for Tony to create Ultron, allows for Vision to inevitably become created. And that along with the fact that like, her brother dies and then what continues to happen, just that weight of all of those choices continue or become part of her ongoing journey.
Well, right from the beginning, Wanda's grieving. I mean, we find out through the movie that
the Stark Shell story.
Yeah, he tells the Stark story about the missiles in her apartment, how she lost her family. So from the beginning, she is a woman who is, I always say Wanda's arc is the steps of, grief? There's anger, denial, and then,
negotiation.
And she's definitely in the anger phase at the start of this. And then she goes, I believe she gets closer to denial when Pietro dies. And then she, at the end, is coming to acceptance, very end where she's wearing she's coming down to the new Avengers, what do you call it? Facility. Joins the team and, she's acceptance and kind of.
Yeah.
But from the beginning, she's a grieving woman who is just trying her best to keep it all together. And Pietro is too, but I think he's just holding it together a lot.
Yeah. I knew Pietro was going to die. I just was like, he's going to die. He's going to die. But then when he died, I was like, no. And it was like how he died plus the combination of them realizing he died. And I just went it was just instant
definitely was a moment.
Olsen falling to her knees is so bloody beautiful because I have a brother and they're twins. I'm not their twin, but they are twins. And I was like, she nailed it. That's exactly how it would feel. It would feel like she says, like someone took your heart out when she does it. It feels just like that. And it would. And she's such a brilliant actress because that could have looked really cheesy and it could have looked really soap opera-y, but she really nailed that.
Yeah.
And then you have to think about it from a production side. She probably shot that by herself and the director is telling her, Pietro's dead, fall to your knees. She put all of that into that just by herself being shot, and she's just brilliant. She's a wonderful actress.
Yeah.
And also just not only the power of her performance, but the fact that it emanates as energy out of her and just creates this epic moment. Again, this girl who has this power has not yet learned the total capacity of it. In this moment of just pure emotion creates destruction.
Yeah, her pain just ripples out of her.
Yeah, such a great moment.
No, but early on in the MCU, there was an exec named Ryan. I can't remember his last name, but he had very strong mandates for what could be in the MCU comic book. And there were a couple of rules like no smoking, right? No smoking, no female heroes, and no female villains. There can be supporting female characters, but no leads. That's why we didn't get a Black Widow film for so long. That's why we didn't get, Miss Captain Marvel for so long. So having Elizabeth Olsen and then obviously Scarlett Johansson as these little set pieces really was the beginning steps of them. He got let go. I believe they made an amicable deal and he stepped down because Disney, Kevin Feige was like, we're not down with that. We want women to be leads. We want, and that's why it took so long to get Black Panther, because he was convinced that people of color do not sell overseas. And he didn't hire, do any people of color focused stories. So it took so long for all of that because he was in charge.
Quincy, do you want to talk about what your initial reaction that you texted me while you were watching it?
So I was watching it and there was this one. So when Wanda comes out, she decides she's on board, right? Because she and Hawkeye, he's like, I can't babysit. It's a job, you do it or you don't. And then she has this moment where she comes out and she's like, it's slow motion and she's like, I'm badass. And I was like, yes. But then it was this my brain did this thing where I was like, I got really sad because I was like, man, it's great they have a woman here, but I'm like, when will when as BIPOCs will we get this, where we get a character who gets to fall and then come back and be like, yeah, I'm in it. And so I was just, unpacking that, because it just makes me sad, because there's like so much more work to be done, and like the lack of representation of even like Latinx people in superhero movies is abysmal. And like we had Helen Cho, who was great, but like, just seeing more, just like, and then we're watching and it's just a bunch of white people saving the earth. And I was like, what?
Yeah, and it's disappointing because one man got to make all those decisions.
Yeah, and that makes sense with the Black Widow stuff, because literally a few episodes back, we were talking about like Iron Man 3, and I was like, why is it taking so long for Black Widow to get her own movie, and all the other characters have had trilogies now at this point?
Mm-hmm.
And said this is no audience wants to see a woman in the lead, especially overseas. They don't want to see people of color in the leads. They don't sell. And it took Kevin Feige to really be like, either you step down or we're done here. And so I wonder
on what ground he said that. Like,
I don't know the specifics, but I do know it was like a deal thing. Like, we'll revoke licenses or something.
Oh, interesting.
That man is horrible. And I always think about the women before me. When I think about my career as a writer and producer, I'm like, damn, I've got to do so much. And there's women before me who are more talented than me, who didn't get to do it only because it only takes one man to destroy entire careers, but it also only takes one man to build,
That's what I say. It's like, we can't do this without white people. Like, we really, this movement would move along so much faster if we had everyone on board. And like, we really need you guys in our corners. Like,
it's almost
Kevin Feige.
Yeah. It's almost like white people and BIPOCs need to assemble. What? We've already dove. We've already dove so deep into this already. But I do want to just a couple things I wanted to make sure we mention. Obviously, opening scene, we're in Sokovia, that great epicness. I remember sitting in the theater and that shot where they're like all lined up and going over that fence. Yeah.
It's a great movie to watch in theaters.
Yeah. I remember in the theater being like, "Oh, okay, I'm on board."
That's a great snapshot to get all the Avengers lined up in this like slow freeze frame. I hate giving this man compliments, but that's a directing decision. That's just.
It made it look like a comic book panel where it's like all of the heroes on the same page. And then you have the introduction of Pietro, Wanda. You see the relationship between Bruce and Natasha starting to turn into something.
Also, when did that happen? Because I thought her and Hawkeye had a thing. Or was that just like...
Oh, they've always been friends. Hawkeye and Natasha have worked together for many, many years.
Oh, I guess in the Avengers, it just felt more romantic.
It was more brother-sister to me.
Oh, okay.
I never got romantic there. But then you find out later in this film.
He has a wife.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And then you have, Linda Cardellini playing Mrs. Barton. So many other people showing up. James Spader as Ultron. Stan Lee as the old veteran guy. If don't know this, the thing he says, Excelsior, when he used to write, he used to write a letter at the beginning of like all the comic books that were like to fans, and his sign off was Excelsior. So that's kind of like a nod to that.
Long live or excellence or something like that. I can't remember, but it stands for something.
Yeah. I think it has something to do with like King Arthur times too, and
it's interesting. It's probably one of my favorite Stan Lee cameos, because it's Thor at a bar talking about, oh, you can't drink this. This is for mighty gods, and he's like, give it to me, and then he's like carry out of this bar. It's very cute. It's very good.
It's the longest scene he's had too. Like in his cameo. So it's Latin for ever upward.
Right. Yes.
Cool.
It has a really cool meaning. Thank you.
Nice. And like you have that, the hammer scene, you have them dropping the name Endgame in that scene post Ultron fight.
Like 5 times.
Yeah. and then you have Andy Serkis as the guy who stole the vibranium.
I forgot about Andy Serkis. And what an amazing character actor. He's just ridiculous. We don't give him enough credit in the MCU.
Oh, he was great. He was so good.
very great as a villain. And again, villains in the MCU, unlike DC, sorry, I don't really like DC, but villains in the MCU could be me, could be Quincy, could be Kay. But they just have to have a reason. And he's a really good villain because his reason is money. He like doesn't care about anything else. So.
Yeah, just very enterprising.
Yep. Well, and just the fact that, you know, he's someone who's interacted with Wakanda and vibranium. So he's a connection to that world that we will eventually learn of. But like, he knows how profitable and how
number one, he's not acquiring it purposely, legally. He's taking it from
yeah.
And then I love his line of cuttlefish. Like, I love that.
That was so good. And that badass thing of when he tells Wanda's like, so are you going to come in and give me cuttlefish in my brain? Because that's not boss.
Like, well, if you're here to make me see giant cuttlefish, then I know you're not the guy in charge. Yeah. Through the window. It's brilliant.
Yep. Great.
I only talk to the guy in charge.
And then, you know, you have Fury showing up and being like, let's ground you guys and actually try to move forward. We have Stellan Skarsgård coming back as the scientist, helping Thor see the vision about the Infinity Stones. Did you remember connect that to like the description of the Infinity Stones that we've seen before, Quincy, where they talk about the origin of those stones?
No, what do you mean? I don't understand what you're asking.
Like, you know how like in previous movies they've talked about Infinity Stones and the importance of them. And so when Thor is in the water and he sees like all the different gems in the air.
Yeah, and I think too the callback to with the Guardians of Galaxy, since we just saw it with
the purple
little
one,
the ball inside and they open it. So yeah.
So he was seeing like the Tesseract, he was seeing the power one, and then he was seeing the ether, the red one, and then he was seeing the yellow one, which is now with Vision.
Right. And that's why, and that seems so important, because had Thor not come back and superpower Vision to life, there would be no Vision and Ultron would have won, I feel like. His plan. So Thor needed to go and have that Vision because he knew what was happening. And he's right. One of the stones is safer with us. I don't know what it's going to do or what it's meant to do, but I definitely know it's safer right here where we can.
Yeah.
I adore Vision, by the way. He's just this
Paul Bettany as Vision in the flesh.
Just like this kind of zany, like, I'm here, but I am not. I would not want to date him, but he's like, I would want to hang out with him.
So I totally would date him. I just like.
You think so? Really?
For anyone over 6 feet, I'm like, I'll date you.
He's the height you deserve, the height difference you deserve.
Picked up Wanda and off of the bus as after Sokovia is falling. It's just such a cute little nod to the future that's coming. And I was like, save me, Vision. Like, it's so like sweet. But it's also a nice nod because remember that same scene you're talking about, Quincy, when she comes out of the room and she's kicking butt. Her brother sweeps her off her feet the same way. And she just lost her brother. And then here comes Vision to kind of take that place. And I'm going to cry.
Yeah.
Like, that together. And I think it's very, very sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just layers on layers in this movie. And then you even have the picture. This is the first time I actually really clocked it when the baby is born and Natasha there is on the phone and you see the baby. They gave him the middle name Pietro.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I noticed that for the first time like last week too. That they had gave him the newborn baby, the middle name, and I thought that was very sweet because he didn't know that kid very long, but so he could be a father. So
and in the future, and you know, kind of based off of that scene where Hawkeye is just like, you know, you go out there, you're an Avenger now. It kind of keeps him connected to Wanda in that way, and he moving forward, he kind of stays kind of in that kind of like almost paternal kind of like familial role with her as they move forward.
Yeah, as Hawkeye's definitely not my favorite Avenger, but I do love that he becomes like the pseudo older brother for Wanda. I really do think he took it upon himself to have that relationship, look after her, kind of like Vision did, but Vision's is definitely more romantic. I feel like his is definitely like, your brother sacrificed his life for me. I'm going to take care of you. I don't care I'm going to be here for you. And I think it's very sweet. I can see her coming to dinners as Auntie Wanda. Auntie Wanda.
Oh. Auntie Wanda, but don't get too close. Don't freak her out too much because she's very powerful. And then just like, like we talked about that epic church fight at the end. And then, setting up all kind of like the threads is what's going to happen now. Like, Bruce taking off in the Quinjet and as the Hulk, I'm feeling like betrayed by Natasha and like, turning her off when she's like, come back.
Betrayed by Natasha.
Oh, really?
No, I think so. Earlier in the film, when the Wanda messes with Banner and Mine, and then Hulk goes to smash everything and destroys communities, there's a visceral moment where after Tony throws him through the abandoned building, he looks around, he sees the damage he's done to people, and even though he's Hulk, Banner clocks it inside, and he's it's a split second, but then Tony knocks him down again. I think what Banner was doing after we have this whole beautiful scene with him and Natasha, which I know we'll talk about because people don't really like that scene, but I really love it. He was
where she pushes him?
No, where she talks about her monster versus his.
Right.
It's a very hot topic scene. But I really feel like him getting in the Quinjet and turning her off was like, I love you, but I need to go figure out this Hulk thing. I have no control over it and I'm hurting people. He really felt guilty after destroying that city.
Yep.
And she, when she did push him, after he said, we can go, we can leave, we can just disappear, but she says, I need the other guy. It's just like, well, that's why we get the later films, which you'll see. Banner's always struggled between Hulk. And
I think he comes out of the whole being like, oh, I know why you pushed me. Like, let's go.
Yeah. And that would make you kind of sad. Like the woman I love loves me, but right now I'm a useless scientist guy. She does need the other guy. So Banner is really struggling with his identity of like, this Hulk is a part of me, but it's also, I don't have no control over it, kind of like Wanda and her powers. So when he gets on the Quinjet to leave, I don't think he's mad at her. I think he's saving her from having to be with a monster.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
It's really sad.
Yeah, he was like, I can't be with you, so I gotta go. Like, it was the one opportunity he could get away, because if he came back, he couldn't leave her. He couldn't. And with them being like, we can't track you. And I almost wondered, like, I wonder, because he can't go anywhere in the world, because he is trackable, if he's just gonna stay on the plane till whenever.
Well, you'll see it. Down the line, you'll see where he goes.
Yeah, he ends up somewhere. Okay. That's what we'll say. But actually, let's talk about those dream sequences. Again, another thing that sets up and kind of like anchors those specific characters in kind of like their emotional journey, especially with Black Widow coming out fairly soon, I believe in July now. You get a reference to the Red Room and her training. That was, for me, I remember being so like interested in that, being like, oh, look, that she's coming from.
No,
but you were saying
people hate that scene. People hate this movie particularly for that scene as well. They online chatter, because I follow all the MCU fan base stuff, is the fact that Natasha equates having a hysterectomy and not being able to bear children and making her a monster. They felt that was disrespectful to women who can't do that, and that women who can't bear children aren't monsters. And that's very true. Women who can't bear children or choose not to bear children are not less women, and they're not monsters. But the context that's missing in this conversation, I think people gloss over. Natasha wasn't saying she was a monster for having a hysterectomy and not having children. She's saying she's a monster for killing people and killing lots of people. So if she were to even have children, if she could, someone at any point down the line could come for her. She has assassins. She has governments after her, She's done a lot of bad things. She worked for the KGB, and then she ended up working for S.H.I.E.L.D. So she's always had this like governmental attachment to her. So when she is talking about the Red Room, I think it's just a sadness that she has because she had to become this perfect assassin. I don't think she's crying because she can't have children and she feels like a monster. I think the monster is she is the perfect killer, and she's done it, and she's very good at her job.
Yeah, that's what I got. Did not get a sense that she was calling herself a monster because of her forced sterilization. It just sounded like she was the perfect monster, and then the one thing that really made her perfect was the only thing that was more important than a kill, which was her own lifeblood, and they took that away from her. So it's interesting because I didn't get that at all.
Yeah, but online, people bring this up all the time, and they hate this movie, and you might get some hate mail because of this, because it's just one of those talking points, especially when they attach it back to the director, because they really them. So, there is something to the critique to be said. She is the only female Avenger, and to use this like sterilization as her backstory is kind of like,
yeah,
problematic. But it's the real thing. She had to be the perfect assassin. She did. So,
and I feel like I forget what movie it is, but it is in that scene that she's just like, I had this dream that I was something that was more than what they just trained me to be. So the fact that she's obviously struggled with it, but she's trying to do better. She's working. She was made into something, but now that she is that thing, and her life is in her hands. Technically, she's doing her best to move forward and make those right choices and be less of what she feels is a monster.
Well, but it's a beautiful connectivity for Banner, right? Like, he's talking about, I can't have this. Like, I can't have a family, kids. And she's like, you don't have to worry about it. I can't do that either. So, like, you're not the only person in this room that has trials and tribulations. So don't give me that. To me, it was her saying, don't give me that woe is me crap. You think you're bad. Look at what they did to me. And that wasn't my choice.
Yeah.
But I'm going to deal with it. And then we get this beautiful moment where Banner is saying we could just leave all this and go away. And she's thinking about it for a second, because her whole life has been the mission, and the mission's not done yet. But she is considering, like, I could go away with this guy and we can be together, and I can. So I am worthy of love. He likes me and he loves me, maybe. And maybe I'm not this big assassin monster. Maybe I can stop, and make a change. And of course it doesn't happen. I think it's a very sad scene about human relationships, and just the roadblocks that get in our way to actually to connect as humans, whether that's a physical connection, a love connection, or just a friendship connection. I think humans could understand each other a lot more if we got rid of some of those roadblocks of, like, our trials and tribulations versus their trials and tribulations, like trauma versus trauma, and realize that at the end of the day, we all have the same fate, which is we're not all going to live forever. And we have to find some commonality.
Yeah, I think I was just thinking about this too. It's so easy to come from like a scarcity mindset and look at how different we are. Like, oh, you went through this, but you didn't go through this. So like, you can't understand my pain, and my pain is so painful, versus like, if you look at the similarities and where we intersect and have things in common, that makes it less like, ugh, like I need to like watch where you are and we can join together.
Well, even Vision says it. It's just like, Ultron is in pain, Yeah.
And I want to understand him. He says I'm choosing to understand him rather than that, like, oh, he's trying to end the world, which is bad. Yes, that is bad. But like, Vision doesn't start off trying to end the world. He doesn't. He starts out very confused, and he asks questions. And his first mission, I believe, is to just go after Tony. Or what is his first mission? He gets the end of the world way, way later. When he decides to build Vision, but his first mission isn't to end the world. It's more so to like stop war, and he thinks he's doing a noble thing.
Yeah, he's trying to save the world, peace in our time, which he believes is the annihilation of the Avengers, because they bring war and they bring destruction. Yeah. And then and then you have Vision coming to life, and immediately he has that instinct to be like, I need to protect myself. But as as soon as he sees like the lights below and like the blinking humanity, he's just like, oh. It immediately is just like, this is the idea of what protection means.
A situation I don't understand. And that's half of misunderstandings I feel that we go through on this planet, because we don't understand what the other party is going through. And if we could listen and probably develop some empathy, we would all see that we're actually a lot similar than we choose to admit.
Yep. We're all just here on this earth,
floating on this marble in the middle of the darkness, and it doesn't make sense.
Which to quote Hawkeye, I'm there are robots and I have a bow and arrow. None of this makes sense.
None of this makes sense. Right, exactly.
That was a great line too. So anything else you want to mention about the film before we move forward to our next section?
Yeah, there's just one part that is my favorite part of the film, and I get made fun of by my friends about it all the time. And it's actually at the very, very end in the forest where the last Ultron robot is there, and James Spader, aka Vision, and they have this really awesome conversation. And Vision is I'm paraphrasing. He's just like, humans, they're really great, aren't they? And Ultron goes, they're doomed. And Vision's like, well, yeah, but it's not the beauty in the doom and whatever. And then Ultron comes back and says a wonderful line. I think it's because James Spader kills it, but he goes, "You're unbearably naive." And I just love it. And Vision quips, I was just born yesterday.
Oh, that was such a great joke.
Yeah.
It's the cutest little, but it's also like a great conversation between pessimism and optimism. Vision is having hope out for these humans. And Ultron is also fairly new. He's only a weekish old, but he sees like they're doomed. Like I've seen their destruction. They're not going to learn.
Mm. Well, and then to that, Vision goes, well, the beauty is not beauty because it lasts forever. It's because it's not forever. It doesn't last. And I think preserving it. There's a Buddhist quote where it's like I don't know if it's Buddhist, but like a Tibetan monk or someone said it like, this mug is already broken, so I'm going to enjoy this mug right now for what it is. And like I think it goes to show like, yeah, nothing will last forever. We're all stardust.
And honestly, just the origin of Vision having awesome quotable lines throughout the rest of the MCU.
And those are one thing I'd like to touch upon that I always have a soft chuckle with is that when Vision first attacks the group at the bar and Thor tosses the hammer at him, or is it the shield? I can't remember, but they break up Vision. They get this beautiful close-up shot of Ultron's mask. And he goes, I had strings and now I'm free. And I have
the Pinocchio song. Yeah.
The Pinocchio song from Disney, which I thought was just a very cute nod. And it's just brilliant. I'm like, that's just small things like that make me really, really happy.
Yeah. And perfectly eerie in that moment as well. Well, thank you so much for sharing all those thoughts. We have come to the Marvel portion, end of the Marvel portion of the podcast. We are going to transition into our stretch and share. This is where we pick a stretch and that we can do while sitting down, and each of us shares a little highlight from our week. Quincy, I believe you chose last time.
I don't remember.
Oh, you don't remember? I'm trying to think. I think you chose last time, so I'm going to choose this time. This time I want us to do just a little bit of, maybe just like arm stretching out, just like maybe like a bit of a wrist thing too.
Cool.
Wow.
I will share. Yeah, I watched the Mortal Kombat movie and I loved it.
Oh, cool,
it was so good. A little bit intensely bloody, so I had to close my eyes for some of it.
Well, there's Mortal Kombat.
Yes, because there's like, kills and stuff. The opening sequence was so great. They really knew how to, I felt like they spent their money on special effects where they really needed to. And it was really awesome to see a good mix of practical and CGI. And some of the fight sequences they have choreographed are so amazing. And there's a series reg in Warrior who comes and plays in it. So it was really good to see him. And I guess he's been like on the Singaporean martial arts team for 15 years. And they had to slow down some of their fight sequences because the camera could not pick it up. So I'm about to go and see if any of that found its way to the internet. And it was just great just to see like a diverse cast kick ass and like, I don't know. It was like, I don't know.
I've heard good things. People really, really liked it.
Yeah,
I have too. I probably will watch it tonight. I think I might skip the Oscars and just watch a movie and get the highlights tomorrow.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Great. Sade, do you have a highlight from your week that you'd like to share?
Yeah, I mean, it's been past the week, but this past week, my nonprofit Social Ripple Effect did a COVID-19 vaccination pop-up with Ava DuVernay's nonprofit Array Now.
Oh, great.
Asked over a couple of hundred people, and we were able to pass out clothing, and also Baby to Baby was there, and Baby to Baby is amazing. They give out Pampers and wipes and baby and formula to new parents. So we did all that and got some people vaccinated with the Pfizer, and it was really great.
Awesome. Really cool. Yay. Yeah. Special claps for that. My highlight is also a bit more media based. The second season premiere of Black Lady Sketch Show came out this week. So funny. So great. And they redid the opening theme. So they they were doing an homage to the opening of Different World. And it looks so good. I was just like, oh, this is so great. And then one other thing highlight was this was actually the series, or perhaps even just season finale of Falcon and Winter Soldier this past week. You haven't seen it? Okay, I'm not going to say anything, but to your point, Quincy, the fact that you're wanting that more representative.
Give it to me now. Give it to me now.
you're hungering for that. The fact that Anthony Mackie is one of the main characters in this series. I think once we get down to when we get down to watching this show as part of the podcast, you'll be reveling in how awesome he is in this series. Really, really great. Him, as well as Bucky Barnes, Sebastian Stan, but some really great standout performances in that series finale or season finale. Who knows if there will be more? But I would definitely recommend both highly for people. So that is our. Well, go ahead, Sade.
I said I was just gonna watch it tonight because I have been busy all weekend, so I haven't had time, and I'm the type that needs to have nothing. I don't want my phone on. I want to focus on the show. So I need to watch it.
Definitely.
Oh yeah, I've learned that for the Marvel movies, I have to not be like, "Who's that?" Because then I'll spoil something for myself in looking up something. So I just stopped. I'm just like, okay, I just will watch the movie.
Yeah. I don't know if the spoilers, if you'll be able to avoid them until we get to that point, but we'll try. We'll try.
I'm gonna do
down the line.
My darndest best. I've gone this far.
We'll see. We'll see what we can do. So that is our stretch and share, and now we are moving into the makeup portion of the podcast, where we are talking about
false eyelashes.
Eyelashes. Quincy, let's break it down for us.
Great. Can I lead with our thematic tie-in?
Sure, go ahead.
It's a little shorter than last week's tie-in, which is the Age of Ultron. The Age of Ultron showed us, like lash glue, we need to stick together.
Awesome. Yeah. Eyelash fallen. So
yeah. And you don't want things sticking out like that. Great. These thematic tie-ins are just like real reaching.
Honestly, I was thinking more like vision, fake false eyelashes, enhance the way our eyes look.
This is true.
Thinking more like that way.
I'm just like, y'all, like, you can't be doing this stuff and keeping secrets from each other. It does not work. It's
a theme. It's a real flaw in their group. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, you guys need to talk to each other. Like when they're like all like sad about their dreams, understandably, it was deeply personal and traumatic. And I was like, guys, if you guys just told each other, guys, I feel like shit because this is what I saw. Everyone would be able to help you cope. And like none of this would have, I mean, we wouldn't have a movie. But
they need group therapy like ASAP. They need a once a week sit down to discuss all of their issues.
Yeah. 100.
Avengers discussion.
Counseling. Yeah. So we have lashes. I know, Sade, I think you said you haven't opened yours. What kind of lashes did you get?
Well, I got these lashes. I don't know if we can say the brand, but I've never worn lashes in my life ever. I have long eyelashes. It runs in my family. So
jealous.
It's literally something I've never ever had to do before. So I went to Nigel's here in Burbank, and the lady just pointed me to the last section. And when I told you, I thought it was gonna be like 3 or 4 different options. There were thousands of options.
Oh well, Nigel's is like a beauty store.
Yeah, it's for industry hair and makeup people. And I was just like, I don't know how people pick, but I just picked the one that came with the most pairs in case I messed up. And then I picked the glue that was on sale.
Great. Yeah, typically using the glue that doesn't come with the makeup, the eyelashes is a little bit better. Kay, which one? So Sadé looks like she's using the fuller one. I think I picked out some more natural looking
multiple ones. Yeah. I got the Look So Natural.
Yeah.
Kiss. And I also got what's this one?
Oh, you got a whole like 8
the full bouncy one, because I also got a good amount because I was like, I'm gonna mess up. And we've learned on this podcast that I tend to do things the first time not accurately.
Yes. I grew up very much a tomboy, so the kind of makeup I do takes less than 10 minutes. It's just like, it's foundation, it's concealer, it's a touch-up blush, and it's mascara and a little setting powder, and I'm out.
Yeah, Sadé, I told Kay that one time I had 5 things on my face, like you just listed off, and Kay was like, what?
Yeah, I was like, that's like 5 to just your face.
Just so you guys know, I have 2. I'm probably going to do these ones because they're a little bit thicker. I personally prefer the lashes the lash line is a little bit thinner, as you'll see, because it just bothers my eye. But when I do drag, I'll use these thicker, fuller ones just because it's more dramatic.
Okay.
Because you'll see, and you can reuse them, and you can see like the old glitter. This lash line is just thicker. There's a thicker piece of plastic, and it just bothers my eyes. And you would do this last, right? So your face would be done, your eyes would be done, and these would be the last thing you would pop on.
Okay.
Yeah. So what you want to do before you pop these on is to make sure that the lash fits your eyes. If you put them up, so if you use your little hand mirror, the key to sticking eyelashes on is to hold the mirror down, angle it down, and have your chin up and look down so you can see where the eyelash goes. If you're going straight on, there's no amount of winking you can do to get it affixed to your eye. So by having your chin up, looking down, you can place the eyelash. And the way it should look is, if you're here, see how the end of the eyelash does not go past the outer corner.
Okay.
Right. So if it goes past the outer corner, see how it creates this like drooping effect? You don't want this drooping effect unless that's deliberately a look you're going for.
So the way that you line it up is by the end, like just to make sure the end lines up?
Yeah, because you want the inner corner to fit the inside, to fit at the inner corner, and the outer corner to fit where your eye kind of ends right here.
I think.
And then Sadé, in terms of holding your eyelash, this is how you want to hold your eyelash. You want to come in straight. Yeah. So see how I'm perpendicular to the lash in the middle.
And
yes. Okay, you have a question?
So did you put glue on it, or you just...
No, we're just looking to measure to make sure it fits our eyes first. So looking down into your mirror, you'll hold up the eyelash. And mine fits so I don't need to trim.
Okay. Okay, so this is just...
Does it fit yours, Kay or Sadé?
Yeah, it's actually a little short.
Okay. Well... Your eyelash, I'm so jealous that when you were like, I have long, full eyelashes. I was like, what is that like?
It should look right in then. It should, the rest of my eyelashes will.
Yeah, it'll only look fuller if you decide to put on eyelashes too. And then, so let's say your eyelashes are a little bit long, you would cut from the full side. So that, because you don't want to cut from the short side, because then you'll have really long eyelashes in the inner corner of your eye, and that's not what you want.
Okay. How can you tell the full size from you said the full side?
Yeah, because as you can see here, like this end is shorter than it fans out. It's a gradient. This is very short, and then it gets thicker, and this end is still longer than the inner corner. So this would actually go on my left eye.
Okay. Because the shorter side goes on the inside.
Yes. And also, okay, if you're looking at it, the left one will be the one that's on your right side, but would be on your left eye. If you were looking at a person, that person's left eye would be the left eye. The left false eyelash.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's supposed to be like this.
Yes, so that's your right eye. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Sade, you okay? You look like you're struggling with something.
I just had the wrong eye. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, now.
Great.
Yeah, it's gonna fit. Okay.
Okay, good. And then Kay, how does yours look?
I think it looks like short, right?
Yours might be actually a little bit long. You can pull it a little out.
Like bend it?
No, just so see how yours is really in. You can just bring out the lash can start. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so it looks like yours fit.
Oh, okay.
Great.
So I was measuring from the inside, like making sure the most inner part was in.
Yes. And then if it's short, though, you can just kind of bring it out.
Okay. But if it's short, you measure from the outside.
You just, from your inner corner, you just pull it out until it matches up to the outer part of your eyelash.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it lines up from the outside versus the inside because it's shorter than my actual eye. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Okay. So the next portion is I like to take my eyelash glue and put it on a piece of cardboard or the thing it came on. You don't want to apply the eyelash glue directly to the eyelash glue to the false eyelash because you could get it could get messy.
Okay. So you apply it to a piece of cardboard?
Just usually it comes in a box or something. So I'll use that or a paper towel or something. And if yours comes with a wand, you can just use the wand because some eyelash glue comes with the wand. Okay, so then in terms of applying the glue, what you want to do, let me grab my eyelash, is I'm going to show you.
Okay, I'm watching.
I like to use a Q-tip if mine doesn't come with a wand.
Okay, mine has a wand.
And what you want to do, this is not going to be as accurate because I'm using a Q-tip, is you're going to apply the glue along the lash line, but you want to have 3 little bloops at the corner of the lash and in the center.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. Who made these?
Probably some man who was like, women need this.
It's crazy. So apply it all along the line.
The lash line, yes.
But major bloops at the
not major bloops, but bloops. Maybe the size of a cute mole on the outer corner, because that's the corners, because that's where you want more adhesive, and then the center.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's to show that it's working.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
And so let's say you were doing, I'm only going to do my, okay. And then let's do both actually. So then you'll set that aside carefully and you'll do the other side. The reason for this is so that the wait period allows the glue to get tacky.
Okay. And then get the other side.
Getting the other one. Pulling the other one.
This feels like we're doing arts and crafts for some reason. I don't know why.
A little bit. And I was always, I was not good at the crafts.
Oh, I loved arts and crafts.
I was, I told you the story, right? When I was, in 6th grade, I took this test to get into this advanced learning program. Mm-hmm. And, on every single section, I got in it was like on a scale of 1 to 10, and I got in the 90th percentile for every single section except for creativity.
Oh
no! Wow.
Creativity, I got a 3.
They called you uncreative.
Yeah, they called me uncreative. So that gave me a great complex for a majority of my life. Still dealing with it.
If they could see you now,
they could see. Yeah.
Putting eyelash glue.
Okay, so then using the technique that I showed you in terms of again, you're going to hold it straight on, perpendicular, right? You're going to hold your mirror down, chin up, looking down, and you're going to place the eyelash straight on the middle. Okay?
On the middle?
Like the pressure point will be first in the middle of the lash.
Okay. Of the lash, but still lined up.
Yes.
How it fit.
Yes. So it's going to be, I'm looking down, chin up so I can see through my eyes, press it straight on. And once that's on, I will press the outer corner and hold. And then I will press the inner corner and hold.
Okay.
And if you need to adjust, you can wiggle the lash out or in.
And so is it resting? It's pretty much just resting on top of your actual Sade.
Sorry,
Sade,
I can't hear.
What's going on there, Sade?
The minx.
You what?
It's funny because my real eyelashes are just as long and they're like in front of the fake eyelashes.
Oh, for that too, if your eyelashes are curled, you can use your eyelash curler to curl them down.
Okay.
So, right. Okay, I'm just fussing with it just to fix the alignment.
Down?
Yeah, because if your eyelashes are poking straight up, you can curl them down by using your eyelash curler.
What's happening?
Upside down so that it doesn't curl up, it curls down.
Okay.
So and then the eyelash will stick to your lash line.
Is it supposed to go like this or like this?
So so this is your eye, right? The eyelash comes on like this.
Okay. Maybe I just put this one back upside down.
Yeah, I look insane right now because I have no makeup on, and these are so dramatic.
Okay, I'm going to go in. I'm going in.
Okay, and then hold the mirror down. Okay. Hold the mirror down, chin up.
Mirror down.
Chin up.
Mirror down, chin up.
Yes.
I put it on upside down, no?
Mirror down, chin up.
I don't know. Charlie, it looks good. Why do you think it looks upside down?
It's so long.
No, I think that's... You can adhere, you can add a little bit more glue to the inner corner of your eyes because it's sticking up.
So is this the right way to put this? No. Wait, yes.
The lash line part, the clean straight edge part is what adheres to your eyes.
But I'm getting confused because I'm like, does it go on like...
Oh, you want it to go up like this. The lashes, yeah.
That's why.
Okay. And then you hold it for how long? 3 seconds?
Just to hold, yeah. Until you feel it adhere to your...
You think that the inside needed more glue, but... Okay,
not bad. Yeah, that looks great.
Now they feel like at any moment they could fly off. Like it feels...
Do you feel like they're not adhered to you? I mean, they're light. They're not supposed to like weigh heavy.
Let's talk about this glue. Is it safe for the eyes?
Yeah. Are you getting a bunch of glue stuck to your eye?
No.
Okay, good. I think it has to be. Sorry, I'm like really focused on getting this other eyelash. I think it has to be because you're manufacturing it for your eyes.
Well, because this box said no formaldehyde, and I was like, was that a question before?
Oh, you know what? Is that alcohol? I think in the past, makeup products did have alcohol in them, but I know that companies are trying to move away from that.
What is this to tear these things off? Is it gonna hurt?
No.
I wonder, did I put it too far to the end? Because so much of my inner eye is not covered.
Oh, I can't tell, Kay. No, that looks great.
Oh, okay.
Because also, wow, these are seriously old drag eyelashes. Because right now I'm having a hard time.
Those look fun.
Yeah, they look very full, very full.
Well, because this is for drag.
I feel like mine look very spread out, like
a little spider.
Yeah, a little spidery,
like feathered out. I think it, but to me it looks more. I mean, you're not wearing a full face of makeup either.
Okay.
Here, let me put on my the ones I would put on to be more natural. These ones.
I feel like the outside. This side definitely is sticking good. This inside part, maybe it's just because it's cut off and it's the end. It just feels like it's.
Sade, how are you doing? Did you get both on?
I did.
Yours look great because you have your makeup on.
Yeah. It looks like a fuller look than mine, definitely. And so would I curl? What was that?
I might like the lashes now, but it just feels, because I put mascara on today, so it feels just a little nutty to have two lashes.
It looks very natural, I would say.
It does look
cute. So then I have some glue on because I did this quickly. Okay, but this is what what this eye looks like. See how it's very feathered? So this is the drag eye, and this is just the a little oomph.
Yeah, I feel like the inside of this one is sticking up.
Yes, so that's why we concentrate the glue at the end.
So should I take it off and try it again?
No, so you can use your wand to dab a tiny bit of glue to the end.
Okay.
Because the part that's sticking out. Oh, and then Sade, to talk about your mascara stuff. So what you can do once you're done is then you can curl them just to get them to adhere, or and then typically you don't need to add mascara to this because then it'll change the texture of the false eyelash. But if you decide you want to add a little thing, you can just do it at the root and just use your spoolie. Hi. I look insane.
No, you don't.
With my mismatching eye. Okay, yeah.
It's still sticking up a little bit. I think
you just gently push that end down and hold it.
Mishan, don't do that.
And press into the lash line.
Press. It's almost like I stuck it right above, it's stuck more to my eye than it is the lash line now. Oh, and now it's sticking to my finger.
Okay, I love this pose. I've seen years for later.
Come on. It's not bending for me. It's not.
What's the problem here? I got mine on.
I think because
Sade, it makes your eyes look really flirty.
Oh, no. I look like a Barbie doll.
Yeah.
Hey,
I think you got them.
I think I just had to kind of bend it a little bit.
Yeah.
And so would we curl this now too?
Yeah. So once it dries, you can use your eyelash curler to curl them. And you guys can reuse these.
This one has been sitting for a while. Should I
Oh yes, try to put that on. You might have to reapply the glue.
Okay, let me reapply glue.
Because I've seen people have real ones. What are they made out
of? Some it's natural hair mink.
Okay.
Mink?
I think so. I'm assuming.
Oh.
And so how long do we keep it just sitting?
30 seconds.
30 seconds. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to say I tend to go over the line sometimes so I can figure out where to stop. So I put a lot of glue on this.
Okay. Be careful of your eyes.
Okay, so we'll see how it goes.
Yes. And again, use the technique. I know it feels strange of like having the mirror down, keeping your chin up and looking down, because it's the only way you can see and place your eyelash without fighting so hard. Because if you're coming in straight, you're going to be winking and having your eyes closed as you're trying to place it on.
Yeah.
Sade, you look like a Barbie doll.
No, I'm
in a great way, like in a complimentary way.
A little scared. I don't like it at all.
You don't like it anymore?
No, I liked it, and then I was looking at myself and I was like, it's a lot of personality, and I'm worried with my vaccine, and then I'll get a bikini wax and then eyelashes that I will just act a fool this summer. So it's dangerous. It's dangerous. I'm telling you.
Girl. I mean, look, it's good. It looks great. I mean, I think this summer is the summer to act a fool. I feel like whether you want to or not, it's gonna happen.
You have never taught me this, Quincy, because I'm gonna be a hot mess.
No, I want to be. You better invite me out when you do. I want to be there for it. Just let me know if you want me to, just let me know if you want me to be a good friend or an enabler, because
if the eyelash isn't moving, don't come a knocking.
Yeah. I love them. I think you should incorporate them into your look if you just want to zhuzh it up. I mean, your makeup looks so good already.
Some women, their eyelashes start to fall.
Say that again?
I've seen women, the eyelashes start to fall. Is that because the glue is just worn out?
I think it's just really intensive to, I had a friend who knew someone who her false eyelashes in high school were her thing. And so she'd wear them like every day. And I think it's a lot to like put the glue on. And then when you pull them off, like just also don't like rip them off, like be kind to your eyes. It's not going to hurt, but like I think the constant pulling and tugging will pull out your eyelashes. So just, and like don't wear them to bed either. That's not good for your eyes. Like, but if you're going out and it's every once in a while, Sade, I love this look.
I took a picture of it and on my Instagram I was like, okay, this is a problem.
Too hot,
you guys. She's vaccinated. She's about to get waxed.
Yay.
And she got eyelashes.
Yay.
Kay, in that world.
Cute.
It's definitely stuck on.
Yeah.
Kay. There. My finger was sticking to it more.
It's okay.
But
look at you. Kay's eyes just look like, well, bam.
Yes, my friend EJ told me, Kay, to use, and it did come in handy, tweezers to like just.
Yes, you can use tweezers too.
So that it was easy to put them on with the tweezers.
Ooh, Sade, you look like a snack.
Yeah,
your eyes. You have slutty eyes. You have.
It's not the first time I've heard that. So
yeah, no, it's a huge. Yeah.
Cool, it changes like your whole face.
It opens you up because what happens is it creates a thicker lash line. So if you already have makeup, and then with the fullness and the lift, it really emphasizes your eyes. And
when do you ever wear top mascara? Because I'm wearing top mascara now. Should you do your mascara first and then do your eyelashes?
I would say the whole point of the eyelash, the one you picked out, is for that look, so you don't need to add mascara to it. I usually only use mascara when I'm not wearing false eyelashes.
Oh, I'm sorry, I meant eyeliner. Like I have eyeliner on, like on my top lid.
Oh, yeah. So when would you apply that? Yeah. So I feel like I usually double line. So I will do eyeliner, add the eyelash, and then go over it again.
I know you're saying that one eye is for drag, but I love it. It makes it look like you're wearing mascara and it's just popping.
Okay, yeah. I think this is a successful in-session makeup day.
Yeah. You know what? I feel like this is the most accurate I've been in terms of like at the end, it looks like the thing.
Yeah.
I will say
lipstick. You look great.
True.
Lip was great.
I was able to do lipstick.
And I can't do okay, so good for you. It's the one thing I could never do.
Why?
My lips are so big. I always felt like I'm literally just like painting, like drawing on my face. And I'm not really versed with lip liner. So it always like smushes off. I look like a Joker. I'm like, why so serious? So, and growing up, I was really insecure about having big lips. And I just thought if I put any makeup on my lips, it would just make them more pronounced and people would
You know what? There's I found out in my research there's something called the Korean lip, and it might actually be something you might be interested in, because instead of coloring the whole lip, it's like they ombre it, but the ombre, I think here in the States, the ombre is dark to light in the center, so it really emphasizes the fullness of the lip. But for the Korean lip, it's a reverse. It's actually a lot lighter, and then the coloring is much opaquer in the center, so that might help. And it's a very actually like natural, like cotton candy. It's very, I don't know, it's kind of sexy.
With the mask, I've totally given up on lipsticks and lip glosses anyway, because I'm like, I'm just going to be wearing a mask. And
True. Well, I think we've done it. I feel like we've eyelashed, we've talked about Ultron, we stretched and shared. So that brings us to the end of this week's episode. So thank you for listening and or watching. If you and
Sade, where can people find you?
Oh yes, I'm on Twitter at I am Sade Sellers, and I am on Instagram at Sade Sellers, spelled Sade. That's how I spell my first name. I don't answer DMs, so I won't do it. But if you comment on something, I might like it. I'm just not good at social media. It's not me being a biatch. I just don't like it. It makes me nervous.
Understandable.
As it does.
Understandable. And if you'd like to reach out to us or find out more about Marvel Makeup, you can follow us on all social media at Marvel Makeup.
Or you can email us at marvelmakeup@gmail.com. Please rate, review, and subscribe on wherever you find your podcasts.
Please give us 5 stars so that our Asian moms stop signing us up for advanced learning programs.
Because they always are like, learn more. You can always learn more. So thanks. We'll see you next time on Marvel and Makeup.
Bye.
Marvel and Makeup is hosted and produced by Quincy Cho and Kay Kanapu. Quincy is an actor-writer based in Los Angeles, California. Kay is a writer-performer for Filipino AF and an alum of the CBS Diversity Sketch Showcase. You can follow them on Twitter and Instagram at Quincy Dinosaur and at Kay Kanapu.
The music for Marvel and Makeup was composed by Clarence Yap, and our artwork was designed by Patty Lynn. You can find them on Instagram at Clarence_Yap and at pattylyn.jpg. See our show notes for even more info. Here, I'm going to peel these off if you guys want to watch.
Do that. Hold on, because this is going to be an adventure. So slowly?
Yeah, just slowly pull them off.
I'm not going to lie. I'm really nervous about this.
I'm watching both of you.
I'm really nervous. Hold on. I'm so scared.
Ta-da!
All right.
Okay.
So, did you do yours, Kay?
No, not yet. I'm waiting for you to watch. I'm watching.
Oh my goodness. I'm really scared. Wait. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. I'm such a sissy. Oh, it's not so bad. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not so bad.